Both Amy Slaton and Tammy Slaton are the stars of the television show 1,000-Pound Sisters, and there are indications that both of them will return for the 7th season. Amy and Tammy are the most popular characters on the show, despite the fact that several of their other siblings also make appearances. The extraordinary weight loss journeys of Tammy, who was 38 years old, and Amy, who was 37 years old, were chronicled in the series, which made its debut in the year 2020. The title of this provocative work is derived from the fact that the two sisters had a total weight of 1,000 pounds at one point in time. At the time that the Kentucky sisters made their first appearance on television, Amy weighed more than 400 pounds, while Tammy could weigh more than 600 pounds. The two sisters were having a difficult time physically, and Tammy was hardly able to move at all. She was a prisoner of her own body, not only because she was unable to accomplish anything for herself, but also because she rarely left the house. During her heaviest point, Tammy weighed 725 pounds. She continued to gain weight throughout her life. When compared to Tammy's path, Amy's journey to lose weight was more linear. In order to fulfill her desire to have children, she underwent bariatric surgery and experienced a remarkable reduction in her weight. Due to the fact that both sisters have made significant progress since the beginning of the show, there was some suspicion that their journeys on reality television were coming to an end. Concerns have been voiced by a significant number of viewers regarding the possibility of the program returning for a subsequent season and whether or not Amy and Tammy will continue to play a role in the narrative. Despite the fact that there have been reports that the stars of the 6th season of 1,000-Pound Sisters might be leaving the show, there are reasons to assume that they will return for another season. Upon reaching 725 pounds, Tammy experienced a decline in her sense of self-worth. She stopped making an effort to lose weight and instead spent all of her time partying with friends who were questionable. Everything shifted when Tammy became unwell and was taken to the hospital in an emergency situation. Following her recovery from a medically induced coma that lasted for a week, she came to the realization that she needed to take action regarding her weight. After undergoing treatment for her addiction to food, undergoing bariatric surgery, and checking herself into a weight loss rehabilitation clinic, she was able to shed an astounding 500 pounds. Tammy's life was completely transformed after she shed a significant amount of weight. For one thing, Tammy decreased her size from 8XL to 2XL, which resulted in new chances in the fashion industry. On a recent episode of the 6th season of 1,000-Pound Sisters, Tammy was still facing challenges that she needed to overcome. Even though she has lost weight, she still does not feel comfortable in her own flesh. Despite the fact that Tammy's weight loss of 500 pounds may appear to be the culmination of her quest, she still has a significant distance to travel. There is a strong reason to expect that she will return for another season, which will provide her with the opportunity to demonstrate her own development. Amy's development as a person was a central focus of the 6th season of 1,000-Pound Sisters. As the previous season came to a close, Amy Halterman had finalized her divorce from Michael Halterman and was now raising their two children, Guy and Glenn Halterman, on her own alone. Amy's primary emphasis during this season was on her sons, and she also desired to get her house in order. As she grew weary of her elder siblings treating her like a child, she made up her mind to succeed in making a good impression on them. In order to demonstrate to them that she had reached adulthood, she made the decision to host a dinner party. Amy presented a one-of-a-kind dish that was a white chocolate shrimp Alfredo. The evening of Amy's dinner party, she was filled with anxiety. Amy hosted supper for her sisters Tammy, Misty Wentworth, who is 48 years old, and Amanda Halterman, who is 43 years old, during the 6th season of the television show 1,000-Pound Sisters. Amy cooked a dish that was a departure from the norm, a white chocolate shrimp Alfredo, and her sisters appeared to be skeptical about it. However, they all ended up enjoying the dish. Amy was overjoyed that she had finally been able to make a good impression on her sisters, and it is possible that she will continue to demonstrate her worth to everyone. There are a number of reasons why Tammy would be interested in returning for the 7th season of 1,000 Pound Sisters. One of these reasons is that she is still very much in need of skin removal surgery. Additionally, during the 6th season of 1,000 Pound Sisters, she and Chris went to the doctor together in order to receive guidance regarding skin removal surgery. Tammy is still working on dropping more weight. However, Chris was finally able to qualify due to his weight loss efforts. There is a significant potential that Tammy will return for another season of the show as long as she has another set of responsibilities to fulfill. At the beginning of the 6th season of 1,000 Pound Sisters, Chris went in for the cosmetic operation. Initially, he made the decision to have only the area surrounding his stomach removed. After that, he would reevaluate his situation and determine whether or not he desired to proceed with the removal of the loose skin around his chest. During the 7th season of 1,000 Pound Sisters, Chris's results, which have been eagerly anticipated, are expected to be announced. When Amy made her first appearance on television, she gave the impression that she had her romantic life in order. There was a man who appeared to admire her, and she was married to him. Immediately following the birth of their children, Gage and Glenn Halterman, the tension began to arise. Amy made the accusation that Michael did not provide her with sufficient support, which ultimately led to the quarrel reaching its climax. The year 2023 marked the announcement of Amy and Michael's divorce. The marriage between Amy and Michael had lasted for more than 4 years, and they had 2 young children together, whom they continue to share parental responsibilities for. A little more than 3 months ago, Amy established a romantic relationship with Brian, her new boyfriend. There is a clear indication that Amy is content with Brian, and the two of them have been commemorating significant relationship anniversaries together. Amy and Brian recently spent Brian's birthday together, and lately the 1,000 Pound Sisters actress tweeted photographs on TikTok from their romantic dinner at their neighborhood Olive Garden. Amy has gone through a lot, and she is deserving of the happy ending that she has earned. Tammy has never felt unlucky when it comes to love. Over the course of her life, she has had a number of unsuitable lovers who had a desire for women who were overweight. They pushed her to eat, which was a contributing factor in the Star of Sisters Season 6 who weighed 1,000 pounds gaining additional weight. It was during the 5th season that she eventually found love with Caleb Willingham, who was 41 years old at the time, and the two of them got married in a modest ceremony. Unfortunately, Caleb passed away as a result of health difficulties brought on by his fat. Tammy had not been in a relationship for a considerable amount of time after Caleb's passing, and nevertheless, during the 6th season of 1,000 Pound Sisters, Tammy revealed to her family that she was finally prepared to enter the dating pool once more. She revealed to her brother Chris that she had the intention of dating only women in the years to come. In spite of the fact that Tammy has been working so hard to reduce her weight, her romantic life will continue to be an intriguing plot point for the program, regardless of who she chooses to date. When Tammy moved into a house that was owned by Amanda, that is when the argument began. Amanda is accused of not taking care of home maintenance in a timely manner, according to the star of the 6th season of 1,000 Pound Sisters. During a family meeting that was captured on camera, Tammy and Amanda's dispute became more intense, which led to an increase in the level of tension that existed between the sisters with sharp tongues. In the 6th season of 1,000 Pound Sisters, Tammy and Amanda were compelled to share a meal together after a period of time during which they had not communicated with one another. At long last, Amy grew weary of their argument and decided to act as a mediator. Since then, it appears that the siblings have put their disagreements behind them and are now on excellent terms with one another. Tammy made numerous threats to leave Kentucky during the course of their conflict. However, she dropped those threats after the sisters reconciled their differences. Tammy frequently experiences feelings of being suffocated by her family, which is an extremely close-knit family known as the Slatons. Aside from that, she has a lot of newly acquired freedom, which she is anxious to show off. Tammy's threats may give the impression that she is serious, but the star of Sisters Season 6, who weighs 1,000 pounds, is aware that she is dependent on her family and may have difficulty leaving the state. Tammy has become accustomed to being dependent on other people, and it is possible that she would not be content living by herself. It is possible that Tammy's refusal to learn how to drive will make it more difficult for her to become independent. Although Tammy has regained some of her mobility, she still requires a great deal of assistance with her day-to-day activities, despite the fact that she has gained more independence. In addition to the fact that Tammy is not yet prepared to start living on her own, leaving the state would most likely be the end of the 1,000-pound sisters. Without Tammy, the show would most likely not exist, and it is highly improbable that Tammy would leave the show she is a part of. Tammy continues to be adamant about not learning how to drive, which may make it more difficult for her to become independent. As a way to commemorate their successful weight loss efforts, Tammy and Amy went out for a night on the town during an episode of the 6th season of the show, 1,000 Weight Sisters. It was clear from the start that Amy and Tammy have been traveling down distinct roads over the course of their lives. Despite the fact that they are quite close, the sisters have been working toward their health and fitness goals at separate rates. Tammy was still feeling a great deal of discomfort in her own body, in contrast to Amy, who was anxious to get stripped down to her underwear and deliver her best performance at the dance class. While Amy was having a good time and dancing, Tammy appeared to be making an effort to vanish. Not only did Tammy feel uneasy in her own body, but she was also irritated by the fact that Amy could be so casual with her own. The 1,000-pound sisters were obviously envious of Amy, despite the fact that Tammy would never confess its existence. Tammy Slaton, 38 years of age. 500 pounds were lost. Amy Slaton, 37 years of age. 169 pounds were lost. Chris Combs, 44 years of age. Lost 150 pounds. Amanda Halterman, 44 years of age. 31 pounds were lost. Misty Slaton Wentworth, 48 years of age. 74 pounds were lost. Brittany Combs, 36 years of age. Not known.